on the budget. Had, and I wouldn't say it's the right word.
No.
I don't even know if what we have would be considered a decent contingency fund. There's funds out there. One of them was the $250,000. Now that's $250,000. But we owe that money. Now through negotiations, most especially by our attorney and our planner, we have reduced that amount to 205, I think it is, thousand. But that's money just sitting out there that is a slush fund. That's money that we owe. Now we're going to pay that. We have just entered into agreement, and they were gracious enough to allow us to pay it over a period of years rather than asking for it all right back, which is a great benefit to the county. And then it's just at the discretion of the board whether we want to pay it back at one swipe or pay it off over a period of time. Now, me personally, and the way I do my finances, I would pay it off. But because I've inherited a checkbook that I didn't start the account with, I have $525,000 I pay a year on one line. Had I been the starter of that checkbook, I'd have had that paid off, and chances are we would at least have that $500,000 working. But there is a lot more to many of those categories that were mentioned. The one group of money is where the amount we pay on that 7 point something, another $1 million debt, whatever it's down to now, 7.4. We're paying less interest. But if your interest rates keep again, we're supposed to be paying more interest. You know? And the fact that the county most likely couldn't go borrow anymore because we've got that plus MSBU loans out there. I don't know how much, if we had a crisis or a catastrophe, you know, was the county just going to go file bankruptcy? I don't know what you do in a situation like that. So if we have anything, and I can tell you, in past year's budgets, you know, we went line item by line item, not just routes. I ain't saying, all right, here's the road department, or here's the planning department. We took the planning department and went right down through. Mike may have had $150 for publication. So we looked, and this year he's only spent 30, and the previous year he spent 80. Well, we cut it to 50. You know, I mean, we legitimately went through every item, and some of them it was obvious over a period of years that they've had 500 and they've never spent but 200. Well, that's obvious. You cut that to 200, but it hadn't been cut in previous years. That's where you hide your money, Miss Man, is over a whole line of categories. You don't just hide it under certain things. But anyways, I appreciate you taking the time to look at it.
Maybe my wordage was wrong, as in hiding. I realize that when any bank, I run my own business, so I do understand that you have to allow for whatever to happen, okay? But in less estimates, there's $579,000, okay? And it was budgeted in for 2013. It's gone. Where'd it go? Yeah. Some of the things I've realized, like I said, you have to, I'm going to use the term pad your nest, because that's the term I use. You allow for a rainy day. Okay. But there's other funds available, and I'm not saying you have to put them all in one egg basket and spend every dime. Okay.
We better not.
Yeah. Or the last person leaving Washington County closed the door and shelf lights. But all I'm saying is that there is money available. Okay? If there's money for gas money, there's money to keep going. You've got to think both ways. I would be very, very disappointed myself as a citizen of this county to find out that, one, you have this money available somewhere and you are not bringing it forward. If there's other funds that have not been listed, I think now is the time that someone has to come forward and show them.
Unless Miss Linda's hid it in the basement over there and it's wet now, but I don't know of any.
I mean, I've been told that there's 4 different accounts, and I think Mr. Todd has accounted for 2.
I've accounted for all of them, with the exception of the FEMA money at Road and Bridge, and that money's to be used down
That's
there.
separate, that's separate.
And I didn't want to bring that forward because it can't be used to budget the 3 jobs that we were.
And I use that phrase FEMA loosely, and that it's always, that's all I've heard since I've been on FEMA money. It's really not FEMA money.
It's money that's been reimbursed.
Yeah, the county's already expended that money. This is where FEMA has reimbursed them for their expenses. So,
Ms. Thompson, the $579,000, it's still in there. It hasn't been taken out.
Okay,
Still there.
okay.
But
But like,
these papers that you're making up here, some of them are folks that finance knows it. They the one that put this budget together.
They're the ones that
I
got
am
the
not, I'm not denying that there's been a lot of hard work. All I'm saying is that if we can squeeze that penny,
Yes, but I'm hearing things that's not true this time. Yes, I did, I just heard one. It's in there. The
I
5%
questioned that.
You said it was gone.
okay, so I looked at.
So you made a mistake.
I made a mistake.
all right,
All I'm saying is
let's
the
go on.
money's there.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson.
Could I just say one thing about the finance department? There's never been a dime hidden from anyone. And I do resent that statement. My women work very hard, and they would never, ever hide anything. And that's all I'm gonna say.
I wish some of it the public would see. The chart. You know, you have 100,000 budgeted for attorneys and you spend $250,000. How much we have budgeted for inmate care? I mean, that's one that shocks me every time I say it. Just one inmate, over 70,000 we spent on that inmate. I mean, and that's just unknown. I mean, how you budget for that? You don't know who's going to be arrested next. You hope they're in good health. You know? But, I mean, really and truly, just, and no, I made this statement today. I was up there in Miss Linda's office, and I made the statement, you know, that I know this ain't the budget I want, but, I mean, you've got, nobody's getting, this ain't nobody's wish list, I can tell you. It's just, what's important to some is not important to others, you know. To me, one of the most important things is road and bridge, you know. We cut 3 positions out of road and bridge, 4.
Well, it's not people in the job.
It's not in the jobs, but
It's people that we're just not replacing them when it wants
but
to
it's
job.
work that's not being done.
That's correct.
And to me, that's important,
Yes, it is.
you know, and that really is important.
We cut 27 positions for a year. Road and Bridge is down to half of that. We had over 50 employees. We got 23, 24 employees trying to cope the labor. We just had a major disaster.
26 employees.
I just took off 2 more, 28.
I mean, that's, my phone tends to ring more about that than a lot of other things. All right, looking for more out of the audience. You know, Mr. Hayes, you'd be nice, because I held the meeting up for you to get here. I told Todd, I said, I see the regulars out there except for Danny Hayes, and I know he's coming. So I waited till I seen you go by the door and we started.
You what I do.
Actually, what he said